and today we're going to do a product review on the all-new Vortex front headlift motorcycle stand. This thing sells at an amazingly affordable price, right, under $150. Take a look at our website for it. This stand comes in a modular design, okay? It comes in pieces that you need to assemble when you get it. We're going to show you how to do that in the second part of this video. It's really easy to do, and it's part of the reason the product is more affordable. Quality of construction, I've already used it, I've already put one together, I've looked at it, is high. Value is very high. Form and function, they did a great job with this. So if you're looking for a front or rear motorcycle stand right now, this current crop of the Vortex stands comes highly recommended. We've got heavy gauge tubing. If you look at the wheels, we've got quad wheels, which adds a lot of stability to it. The way they bolt it together, it also ends up in a good, tight fit. This particular headlift stand comes with 5 different size pins. What the folks at Vortex did is they determined which were the most common sellers. They packaged them all with the stand, so you don't have to choose a pin. It's going to come with the stand itself. These are going to fit almost every modern Japanese sport bike. A lot of the Euro stuff too. They're all marked with sizes on the top, of course. We have the sizes on the website. If you ever have any questions, get a hold of us. We'll tell you if it works or not with your bike if you have something a little more exotic. But for all the Japanese stuff, the modern stuff, this is going to be a non-issue. Okay, remember, assembly is in the second part of the video. The first thing we need to do, right, is determine which one of these pins we're going to use. Where does this pin go? This pin fits, I'm going to have the cameraman follow me here, into the very bottom of our triple tree, right? If you're going to use this on your bike, there has to be a hole in the bottom of your triple tree, like you see way up here, and hopefully Tyler's able to follow me up there. This might be a little awkward, but it's going to be worth seeing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these, and I'm going to look for the one that offers the tightest fit. The first one I've got here, 13 mil, that's out. That is too loose. We're going to try 17 next. A little too big. And what we got here? It's like a 16.5. Oh, also too tight. We're gonna go down to 15. All right, that's a good snug fit there with the 15. Very little movement, so that's the one we're gonna use on this motorcycle. Remember, keep the rest of the pin. All right, now I've got my 15 mil pin. I've got my stand here lined up. All right, stand completely assembled, tight, ready to go. I'm going to slide this down from the top down. Got to line up the holes here. They give you a nice quick release pin right here. Go ahead and slide that in place like so. Now we need to get this under the bike. I'm going to watch your fender there, okay? I'm going to roll this under until you get close to the bottom of that steering stem. Okay. Get that back in there. Get it lined up. Get it seated nicely. And now you're ready to lift the motorcycle. The lifting motion, super smooth, right? Works very nice. This is bar none the best budget motorcycle stand I've seen. There's other models out there, they're more expensive, right? A little more rigid design, but this is bar none the best budget oriented piece I've seen. Give you an idea of stability when it's on the stands. Why would you choose a headlift over a forklift? That's simple, okay? When you have the headlift style, you're able to service the forks, right? You're able to tear the suspension off the front of the motorcycle. So if you're a rider that you intend on working on your suspension yourself, taking your forks off, sending them out to have them redone or doing it yourself, this is the right option for you. Myself, for everyday use, tire changes, tire warmers, general bike maintenance kind of stuff, I like to use the front forklift stand, which is the one that's going to grab the forks just at the fork bottoms. So it'll be resting on the fork bottoms, and of course you have your rear stand. So choose the one that's going to be right for you. Remember that forklift is well under $100, just like that rear stand is also well under $100. That said, remember, if you're going to use the front stand, you have to have the motorcycle on a rear stand first. Do not try and put your bike on a front stand unless it is sitting on a rear stand. You're going to create some enormous instability. Odds are your baby will be lying on the ground if you try and do that. Great product, phenomenal value here from Vortex. This is a product we're going to be stocking because we think the volume and demand for this is going to be high because it really fits that, right, that stand budget for a lot of the riders out there that can't afford the more high-end piece, would prefer to save some money, but still, most importantly, get a good quality product. Stay tuned for the second part if you want to see what it takes to put it together. Okay, now we're going to show you what it takes to assemble the all-new Vortex Front Headlift Motorcycle Stand. It's going to come disassembled like this. Remember, they're trying to get it shipped in a smaller box, smaller footprint. So this is a modular piece. There is some assembly required. It's pretty simple at the end of the day. This comes with a box of hardware. It's going to include a quick release pin that will work with all of the different headlift pins they've included. What they did is they literally took a look at their front stand pin sales. They picked all the most common pins. This will lift the overwhelming majority of modern Japanese sport bikes. A lot of the Euro stuff too. We include on the website the sizes of each pin, okay? So, but they're all included. So if you get a different bike, odds are you're gonna be able to use this thing without purchasing a separate pin. Beyond that, we also have the assembly hardware. These are going to be the pivot pins that attach the upper portion to the lower portion, right here. 2 pins, 2 cotter pins. Very easy to use that. And then we have 4 Allen head bolts that allow us to bolt the handle to the uprights. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Got a T-handle here, 6mm. I have chosen to use a little bit of Loctite just to make the install and assembly a little more permanent. This is not side specific at all. You'll notice too, look at the gauge on this tubing. Okay, they definitely used some good heavy gauge stuff here, right? When this thing's assembled, it is very rigid. This is a phenomenal option for a more budget-oriented motorcycle stand. It's not side specific. We're going to slide the upright onto the handle like so. So we can get the hole lined up. Use a little bit of Loctite on each of the fasteners. Then we're just going to use hand pressure to torque this down. The box that we got, there were no instructions included, but I think at the end of the day, for most riders, it can be a pretty self-explanatory situation. If not, I've always got this video as reference. Just a little bit of Loctite goes a long way, especially when it is red in color. Pretty tight tolerances here. You know, you want that because that keeps the stand stable. So I need to use the Allen to kind of continue getting that thread in there. There it goes. That has bit and is threading in. Slide the other one in. So there's our red Loctite. In there. Once again, might have to wiggle the upright around a little bit to get it started, and or use, you know, the actual Allen to apply a little more force to get it turning. I may need to do that here. Turn that up. Okay. Snug these up. Kind of put a little pressure on the wheels. Make sure that they're as square as possible right now. Able to put a good amount of torque on that without any strippage, which is nice. I would really recommend just using a T-handle for this. I don't think you need anything more, especially with having the Loctite in there. This would be a pretty permanent assembly. Okay, turn it on end. You can really feel this thing get a lot more rigid as you get these fasteners tightened down. Okay. I'll wipe up some of this Loctite. Okay, now for the upright. At the end of the day, the upright needs to face away from the handle, obviously. So I'm going to lean it back here like so. And get the 2 pins. You could put a little lubrication in here if you want to. Wouldn't really hurt. Slide the pins in place. Cotter pins like so. Okay, got the upright on it now. Remember, 5 pin options, right? You're gonna wanna get over your motorcycle, slide these up into the bottom of the steering head and determine which one works best. They are all clearly labeled on the top, right? To install it, push it through the bottom. All right, next up, we need to choose which pin we're gonna use. 5 to choose from, they're all labeled what size they are. The best way to do this, go over your motorcycle, slide them into the bottom of the steering stem, see which one has the tightest fit. Like we said earlier, per Vortex, with these 5 choices, this is gonna fit the overwhelming majority of modern Japanese sport bikes. And then to get it in the stand, pretty simple. Go ahead and get the upright up here, line up the hole. We've got a rubber bumper on there to help protect. Kind of holds it in place. Get that lined up like so. And then, boom. There you go, quick release pin, right? And you have your assembled Vortex front headlift motorcycle stand. What do we think? This is a great value product, right? We've got heavy wall tubing. The quad wheels are nice for sure. The 5 included pins, I haven't seen anyone do that before. I like that. It's strong, it's sturdy, it's affordable, and the reality is not everybody has the budget for an upper end stand. I think this is a great solution to that. You're still getting a quality product from a big name like Vortex, and they put a lot of engineering and development into this. It's a really quality piece.